Everyone, this is Lisa Marie from Artistry by Lisa Marie. Welcome to the studio. Today I am going to quickly show you how to draw an eye. Not an extremely detailed eye, but we're going to draw an eye. So we're going to start with a front-facing, forward-facing eye, so the eye is looking right at you. And so what we're going to do is I have a pencil right here, some extra drawing supplies, paintbrushes, erasers. But you really just need a pencil and an eraser, and that's about it if you want to do a straightforward eye. So to start, we just draw an oval. So what we're going to do is, and you don't have to be perfect, it's something I say quite a bit when you're drawing or sketching. You don't need perfect, especially when you're drawing body parts or people. There's no such thing as perfection. So we have an oval. Now we're going to work on the ends of that oval. So on one end, you're going to do a little V. So do a V. And on this end, you're going to do a U. So I guess you got to know your letters. So there's a V, a little bit sharper tip, a U, rounded. And now you just take those ends of that oval and you can gently erase that part. We're going to keep that right there because that's the inner part of the eye. Probably should have made that U a little bit smaller. But hey, really big inner corner of their eye then. Next, now we have the outline of the eye. That's it. You have the outline of an eye. Next, we're going to draw a circle. And the circle won't fit perfectly in this eye. It's actually going to go a little bit outside of the eye. So you're not going to see the entirety of the circle. So say the top part of the circle is up here. And just pretend the rest of the circle is right there. Or you could just say it's a big, very rounded U. That's another way to put it if you want. Now we need two more circles. So a little circle here, just off to the side. It can be anywhere you want on this eye. That's up to you. And then a slightly larger circle. So we have a a large, medium, and small circle. Next, we're going to add a little bit of detail around this outline of an eye. So there's a upper lid and a lower lid, or where the skin sort of folds and creases around the eye. This is a line drawing of an eye right here, what you already have, but you want to add a little more detail. So the skin, you can just add lines that mimic around the eye. So there's that top lid, a little bit of a crease around the center of the eye. The bottom part, there's going to be two lines actually. So you're going to do one very, very close, and you're almost tracing that bottom line of the eye, but not quite. So you're going to have a little bit of a gap. And then have one that sort of moves away. So it'll move this way, away from the eye. And you don't have to go all the way under the eye unless you have a really, really tired looking baggy eye, which, you know, as a mom, I know that look well. And there you have it. There's a line drawing of an eye. There's lots of different eye shapes. There's lots of different things you can do, but that is a straightforward drawing of an eye. Next, we're not done. Now say you want to go next level. Now we want to add some shading and lighting to it. Well, first you have to know where your light's coming from. So this is front of an eye, and our light source, we're going to have some light rays coming from this direction. Pew, 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 there. There's some rays of light for you, so we know our light's coming from this direction. which means the shadows will be over on this side. And to do shadows, very easy. You already have the oval shape, and that's actually going to be your guide for this, because you know that's right where the eye curves away from the light. And then you're also going to have some, since the light's coming up here, you're going to have this upper lid casting a shadow onto the eye. So you can just get some nice shadow going on up here, and you can go all the way across with that shadow. The bottom part of this eye, and the eye is a ball, it's rounded, so the bottom part of this eye ball, it's curving down away, so you're going to have a little bit of shadow down here. And then this crevice, there's going to be a shadow like that. Then we're going to do, again, wherever there would be shadow, we're just going to add a little bit more pencil. So under here would be some shadow. This is coming out, so it would catch a bit more light, but this part up here, this line, that's curving in, so it's going away from the light. So again, a little bit of shadow up here. And you can do shading lots of ways. You could just do little marks like this, and then there'd be shadow here. You could do cross hatching. You can do little dots. It's also called stippling. Lots of ways you can do it. Shadow would out a little bit. And then just have a little more shading right there. Small bit of shading right there. Add a little bit more. There you go. Now you can keep adding a little more interest and depth to this. So the very center of the eye quite often is black or much darker. So you can just fill that in with pencil. Then this outside circle, the large circle, you can just go and have lines that go from the outside circle towards the center of the eye. This is a very simplified way of doing eyes, but it does work. And like I said, you don't have to be perfect when you first do your drawing. You can always add more to that circle if you want it a little bit heavier on the outside. Just draw those lines going towards the center. More depth to that. Look at that. And these lines don't have to be perfect. Some can go a little bit further in. Some can be short, some can be long. Now that we have that, we're actually going to do the next step. So we did the line drawing, now we have a rough shading. Now I'm going to show you how to smooth it. Take a paintbrush. Yes, I absolutely love using paintbrushes with graphite pencil. And just gently sweep the paintbrush wherever you put pencil, and it will smudge or blur the pencil marks a little bit, so it's going to soften this whole look, and right in the middle of the eye as well. Get on in there with the paintbrush. And blur all those pencil marks. In the very center, blur that. And you don't have to worry about being precise. Again, you don't have to be perfect. Don't worry about that little circle for a minute. You're just softening the whole look, softening all your shadows. And this is where you can go next level a bit. So I have a mono zero eraser. You can also use a kneaded eraser, which you can fold and bend to whatever shape you want. Take whatever eraser you have and just erase that spot right there. And now you have that nice little bit of reflection in the eye. This doesn't have to be a circle shape. You can make it a dash or an oval shape. And then for the white of the eye, so these areas right here, got a little bit of pencil on it. You can take your eraser and give them a little more white in the eye. You can add highlight up here. This thin line at the bottom of the eye, this is the part of the eye that comes out a bit, so it's going to catch a little more light, so it's going to be a little bit brighter. Any parts of the eye that would be a little bit lighter, just erase. And there we go. But we don't want to stop there. We want to go next level with our shading. So often with shading, it's good to think dark, medium, and light if you want something to look a bit more three-dimensional, a bit more realistic. So the light is, wherever we did the eraser. That's the white of the paper, that's the lightest part. Medium is this first layer of pencil that we put down. Now we're going to go dark, which is just another layer of pencil. And it's right where we already know our shadows are. We've already blocked out our shadows. We've already figured out where all the shadows are going to be. We just go back with the pencil and add another layer of graphite pencil. And very gently, don't go too dark too fast. You can always add another layer of pencil. It's absolutely okay to keep going back and slowly add layers of pencils. Get on in here, because this would be further away from the light. Over here, be further away from the light. And wherever it would be darker, we'll just add a little more shading. Don't stress out about, again, perfection, and remember this is just for fun. This is just a quick and easy eye. I'm not going to go too dark over this area because remember the light source is right here, so the light is really hitting here quite a bit more than it is over on this side of the eye. So it would be just natural for this side of the eye to have a bit more shading, a bit more shadow. Go up a bit if you want. You can really play with it and have lots of fun with different eye shapes and just different lighting. Then down here, the white of the eye is not going to be extremely dark because it's white, but we do want to make sure we know where that shadow is, so we're just going to get right in there. Make sure we get some nice slightly dark shadows in there. And then the center of the eye, again, black. Go back with your pencil. Black is pretty dark, so you can take another layer of color there. And then, right where we had all these little lines, remember going in from the outside line or outside circle to that inner circle? We'll go back again. So we'll add a nice shadow line there first. We're going to get these lines, a little bit of texture in the eye. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect. Not even the human eye. And if you look at someone, look in the mirror, and look at your two eyes. They're not symmetrical. Each eye is its own unique shape. They could be very close to symmetrical, but they're not perfectly symmetrical. Get a nice crisp outline there. So again, we can take our paintbrush and soften those shadows. Let it come out a bit. There's graphite or pencil on this paintbrush because I use it all the time. So sometimes I like to use that and just extend my shadow just with the paintbrush. Very nice, soft, gentle look when I do that. Soften all these little marks. Get right in there. And then the eye, center part, we're just going to soften that. Look at that. I could spend forever just shading with a pencil. Okay, and now if you're thinking, oh my goodness, no, I got graphite on that nice bright white spot, that's fine. Just take your eraser, go back in there. If you really want crisp white areas, that's fine. Go back with your eraser. You can really get some great contrast between the dark, medium, and light. Get a little reflection in there if you want. Look at that. You want even darker? Go back with the pencil. Because, I mean, center of the eye is supposed to be black. Really darken that if you want. You can really darken some outer corners. This part, which is further away from the light, can definitely go darker if you want. There you go. This part, further away from the light, can definitely go darker. And soften it again. It's very cyclical. It's a cycle. You put on some pencil, you soften the pencil. You put down some pencil, you soften the pencil. For this part right here, something else you can do is you can just have several darker lines in the eye itself. Most eyes are not just one solid color. There's lots of texture and variety. So you can go in and really push the texture of the eye to make that more interesting. Down. Doesn't have to all be uniform or the same. It can all be different widths, different lengths. And then you really want to go to the next level. Let me get my eraser here. You can take your eraser, and like I said, it doesn't all have to be the same. You can do little dashes of highlights next to those lines in the eye. You don't have to. Again, it's just different ways to get some fun and interesting texture and variations of shading in the eye. All right, so there you have a basic eye, you have some nice shading going on. Next is eyelashes. Some people don't like to draw eyelashes. Look at the Mona Lisa. She doesn't have eyelashes. Leonardo da Vinci, he was the master and he didn't want to do eyelashes, so you don't have to either if you don't want to. But if you do want eyelashes, here's what I'll say. Each eyelash is an individual. It's an individual strand of hair growing its own way. So again, you don't have to be perfect. So you start by just noticing how eyelashes grow. They grow out, out, out. And then towards the center of the eye, if you look at an eye straight forward, it looks like they're just going basically up, up, up. And then towards the corner of the eye, they go out, out, out. Kind of like rays of the sun. If you look at, very simple drawings of the sun where the rays go around the sun. That's what we're doing with eyelashes. So you don't have to do a lot, but go out, out, out. I don't even know if you can really see because I'm not doing anything crazy here. And they can be as long as you want. You can make some great cartoon eyelashes or just very realistic, simple eyelashes, but see how each one is doing its own thing? That's what we want. Eyelashes do their own thing. Some can clump together, some can stand out as their own strands. Some go opposite the direction of all the other eyelashes. Keep going back, darkening them. Remember, if you don't go too dark too fast, you can always go back and add more. There's some big stray eyelash we got going on there. You can just keep adding more and more eyelashes. And then the bottom lid, the bottom part here, often doesn't have as many eyelashes as the top lid, but you can do a few eyelashes. As the bottom lid lashes get closer to the center, generally they are much smaller and not as thick, not as many. So you can just do a few if you want. Remember, you can always go back, add more. You can always come back and darken. And there you go, a quick and easy way to draw an eye. Thank you for joining me in the studio today. Remember to like my channel so you don't miss the next video, and stay creative.